Hi everyone, Cheryl here today, and today's tutorial is going to be on a Fun Fold gift card slash treat box holder. And it is a card, so there's a little drawer here to put your little treats in, and then the gift card can go in the pocket here. And then on the back, I left blank so I could put one of the little white sheets after I do all the journaling. This one my daughter's going to give to her best friend, so you can get, out of everything I'm going to show you, you're going to get 2 of these done. And so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and it does stand. So I'm going to go ahead and put those aside. So the first thing you're going to need is a scoreboard, and we're going to do all our papers here. So we'll need a 12 by 12 card base or cardstock for to get 2 of those, because you're going to get 2 out of it anyways. And then the drawer, you're going to get 2 out of the other one, so you'll need that. And then when we get to the other pieces, I'll show you the sizing and all that. So the first thing we want to do is create this, the piece, the Fun Fold piece. And so with that, we're going to do all our scores. So we're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score at 1.5 inch. And then we're going to go 3.5. And then we need to go 4.5. And then we're going to go 6.5. And then we're going to go 9 1/4. And so we have all our lines on here. So now what we want to do is just take this and cut it at the 6 down the middle. And I do have my cutter right here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Kind of big, but I figured I'd just bring it to show you some of the cuts. And so I'm just going to cut it because we want the lines on both. So we're going to cut at the 6 inch. And this gives us 2 of them. So now we'll have 2. So super easy. So now what we want to do is this cardstock is textured. So what I always do is I take and I put the 1/2 inch fold right here on my right. And so I'm just going to fold it down so you can see what I'm talking about. And so the reason being is once I flip this over, I want to flip it on the back side. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my next fold, which is going to give us our window area. And so I just want to fold that one right here. And so this is where we're going to put the window piece. And we do need to cut those. So we'll go ahead and do those now. We'll wait on the drawer. And so we'll get all our cuts for this part now. So let me put that out of the way. I guess I probably should have just did all the cuts with you while I had this up here. So for the window area, if you cut a 1 3/4 strip off a 12 by 12 design paper, this is going to give you 2 cuts for both boxes. So we're going to want 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I've already done the 1 3/4. So now we're just going to go 5 3/4, and it'll give me 2. Okay, so I have 2 of those now. So that's my window area. So I'm just going to stick those over there. So also for the left side, if you do the same thing, a 2.5 inch strip off your 12 inch cards or design paper, we're going to subcut that to 5 3/4 inch. And we'll get 2 of those off of this one as well by cutting it this way. So it just makes it easy to get 2. And so we do want that again. So we did the 2.5 inch strip, and now we're going to subcut to 5 3/4 on that as well. And this one actually looks wider. I don't know, sometimes so what did I say? 2.5. Yeah, it's right. Okay, so we've got all those pieces. So these are going to be for the little pocket. And now for the drawer, we might as well get that cut too. You're going to want 1 3/4 inch strip, and then subcut it to 5 3/4. And this is only if, and I'll show you, it's only if you're going to add, like on the one I had did the little chocolate kisses, so you wouldn't need to have an insert for that, but I'm doing some that are going to have, I need 3 of these for the grandkids, and I want the carrots to stay in there without falling, so I did a little insert so they could take this out and the drawer will be able to be used. And then I just score taped that down, and I'll show you that when we go to do the one. But if you're going to just add in like candy kisses or something chocolate that's in its own little wrapper, you won't need to do that unless it's the carrots or something you want to see. So we did do that. So those are 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. And now for the back. For the back of the card to do your journaling, you'll want to cut it at 5 3/4. And the reason I did this was because this came off of a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I did the 5 3/4 cut first, and now I'm going to do the 4.5, and that way I don't have to cut 2 papers, 2 separate ones. And I didn't need to find or take one of my 12 by 12s for this. So we're going 4.5 on that. And then we need 4.5. Hopefully I did that right. 4.5 by 5 3/4. Yep. Okay, so 4.5. And we're going to go 4.5 again. So we have all our pieces cut for this. And we won't have to do, the only other thing we'll cut is when we go to do that pocket area. Okay, so now I can go back to this part. So the textured, so I put the little flap to the right, and we're at the textured side because I want my textured side to the front. So now we want to just flip this so we're on the smooth side, and then do our little score, and then take your little window area, and we want to glue that down here. And the reason being why we don't want to do it this way, well, you could do it this way as long as your paper, if it's directional, you'll want to do it the other way or put it upside down. This paper isn't, so, but it doesn't matter. That's kind of just the little habit I'm in with that. So now I'm just going to add some glue to the back of this. And get these glued on here. So since this paper is not directional, it really would not have mattered on this piece right here. So this is going to be for our window. So on this next one, it will matter because this piece here, I want to fold because I have some writing. Let's see, where's my score? There it is. So now we have 2 folds, right? And for the inside piece, second in, I'm going to add the one that has the little writing on it. And that's kind of why I'm in the habit of just doing it this way versus keeping it flat on the other side, because it just seems to go quick for me doing it like this. So now this is the inside of our little pocket area, okay? And so now for the pocket area, we want to add that other 2.5 by 5 3/4. And you can pick whatever design papers work well for you. And so I'm just going to add some glue on here. And so once I get these done, then I can go ahead and get my window. I wanted to let that window dry a little bit. Okay, so these are the only folds we're going to do on this side. We're not going to do the fold that's right here in the middle. That's going to help us to place this piece right here when we go to glue it down. Okay, so we have that done. So now we're back to the window. And I'm going to put it this way. And so for the window, I just picked a die cut that I wanted. You can pick any shape you want or any length. I think this one ended up being like 3.5, but you could pick whatever. And then you're going to want to try to get it centered. Now you could measure from the bottom up and then make sure they're both right, but I'm going to just eye this for now. And then I'm just going to tape that down with some Scotch tape to hold it in place when I run it through the die cutting machine. And so now we're going to just run that through really quick and put it all flat. It's a super fun little project to make. And if you don't want to give a gift card, you could always just put a little tag in that one side, this one side over here. So now we'll just have that left. I'm going to put that to the side. So the next thing we want to do for this is we want to cut our acetate. So we do need acetate for this. And let me grab some scissors. All this, I didn't grab any scissors. How funny. Okay. So we're just going to cut a piece of acetate for the inside of that. And so that'll go right there. So what I would suggest doing is using the score tape on the inside of this. Let me see if I can get one of these lifted part way. Whoops. I'm going to use glue just for the video. Okay, and so I did pull up the side that I'm going to put down first. That way I know I'm not putting the blue side down because I've got to pull up this other blue side. And then we just want to make sure that that's stuck on really nice. And so it stays. Okay. Now we can get that blue off of here. There we go. Okay, I can throw those away. Okay, so we have most of this done. So we have, basically we have this fold right here that we need to do. This creates the side, and that's our last fold that we need to do. Okay. Super cute. Oh, and then the one right here, sorry. This is the other side. Okay. So we have our little box. So now what I'm going to do is I'm using the score tape that I buy my score tape from Really Reasonable Ribbon. And I'm going to use the 1/4 inch on this one. And I'm also going to use some glue as well. It just helps if you need to move this while you're trying to get it set. And so I just want to make sure that's down. And so I'm going to I'm just adding glue to both sides, kind of on top of that score tape. And then I want to place this. So this little score line that you can barely see, but I can see it. It's right here. We want to come to the inside of that. That's kind of our guide to help create the boxed area for the drawer. And so I'm just going to try to, with doing the camera, maybe a little bit harder, but normally. So I kind of just get it right there. And then once I have it where I want it, I'm just going to go ahead and get that pressed down really nice. And since we have the glue, or we have the glue, the liquid glue and that score tape, it's going to allow you, if you did stick it down, you'll be able to move it and reposition it if you need. And then I do have a little bit, which I'll cut that off later. But anyway, so there's that part. So now we need to cut our little window area, and I probably would have done that first, but I'm just going to show you. We'll get it done. Let's see. So I normally come with the scoreboard, or you can do it with a ruler, and you just want to do a little nick at like maybe 1.5. And I would wait to put this part together before doing this, but since I already have it, we're going to just do it this way. So I kind of got it. Let's see, 1 and 1.5. So I want a little nick right there, because now I'm going to take my cutter and show you carefully. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I want to place this at the edge where it's going to cut that one off, and then I'm going to bring, if you could see, this is the other little scored area, and I want to cut to about there, and that's just going to give us our little angle. So hopefully you can see that, and there you have that. And so we're pretty much done with this, and then we'll go on to the drawer. So if you're going to add your dots, you can add them later. So now I'm going to use the 1/8 inch score tape, and I'm using this to create this pocket. And so we'll just put a little bit right here, and then we want one on the bottom, and I am going to use some glue as well with that. And we're going to pull those pieces up. And then we can just add a little bit of glue and a little bit, and that just kind of helps. And that's why you'd want to get this done first, because it kind of tucks under there a little bit. But I was able to put it under there, so it's not a big deal. Okay. All right. So we have that done. So now we're ready to go ahead and create our drawer for this. So I'm going to set that aside. So for the drawer, we're going to want to cut a 5 3/8 piece. So we'll want to do our 5 3/8 cut first. So let me just take that and move this. And so I'm going to need 5 3/8. So I'm going to want to cut that twice, and then by 9 3/8. Okay, so I have one. So now I'm able to get the next one out of there. So I'm going to leave that and put that aside. Okay, so now we need to score the drawer piece. And you could pick any colors that you choose. So for the drawer piece, we want to score at 7/8 and 1 3/4, and we're going to do that on the 5 3/8 side first. So we'll go 7/8 and then 1 3/4, and then I'm just going to flip it and do the 7/8 again, and then the 1 3/4, and so we have that done. So now we want to score, we're going to score now on the 9 3/8 side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 7/8 and then 1 3/4, and then we're going to just flip it and go 7/8 and then 1 3/4. And so this is going to make our drawer piece, and I don't need this. And so now what we want to do is put it on this side, and we're going to go ahead and do our cuts. And so our cuts are going to be in right there. These are going to be the sides right here, these long pieces. So we'll turn it, and we're going to do the same thing. We want to cut and do the same thing, just cut on that score line. So now we'll take it to the short sides, and we're going to cut off these end pieces. And then we'll come and cut off this end. And the same thing, we want to cut that end and cut that end. And so we have those cut. So now I kind of want to just go at an angle. And these are the little flaps that are going to be tucked away inside these long sides. And then we're going to just cut away again. We're going to cut away this part as well. Okay. So super easy. This just makes the drawer, it kind of reinforces it by doing it the double sides on it. So I'm going to cut here, and I want to cut that away. Okay. And then I want to cut this one. Oops. And I may need to cut a little more because I can, oh, there we go. And then get that one cut. Okay. So now we're ready to do our little scoring on this. And we're almost done. And then I'll show you the inside little, oh, I already showed you it. I'll just give you the measurements if you're wanting to do that or not. The little carrots, I bought those at Walmart. They came in a little bag, and I just thought they were super cute. And I was like, I gotta use those somehow. And I thought, how cute would it be to make a box that would hold those? And this also holds a ton of the Candy Kisses. I had those in the box when I took the photos of it. And so we just want to get all our folds pressed. Okay. So what I suggest on this is using some score tape and then some glue. So I'm just going to run one piece. You can use two, but we're putting these on the inside. And then I'm also going to use the glue. But for this right now, I'm just going to put the one just to kind of show you. If I was going to do this, like when I do my other ones, I'm going to put the two pieces down the middle and then put the glue towards the outside. So let's see if I can grab this little pokey thing. There we go. And we want to do these short sides first. So I'm going to just grab these off really quick. So I want to glue these down first, these little short ends. So we just want to take and get those pressed down. If you have any glue, you could take a rag and then same with this side. I want to get these pressed down. So we have both the sides pressed down. So now we can come to this side. And I do want a little bit of glue on these because these are going to be inside of these sides. And you can put glue down here if you want. And then what you want to do is just fold these in. And the best way I've found to do this, or the easiest, is to kind of do it on its side. So I'll kind of show you. So just kind of on the side, and then that way you can press these little sides in and make sure they're where they need to be. And then just come in and give it a good press. Okay? And then now we'll go ahead and finish this up. And we're going to add just, again, a little glue on the inside of this flap because these are encased in here. Inside the sides. And this makes this box nice and sturdy, the drawer. For me, it's just makes it really nice so it's not all flimsy and, you know, wanting to come apart when you put in the chocolates or your candies, whatever you choose to put in. Okay, so we have our drawer done. So our little drawer is going to go in here. Super cute. And then we have our little piece right here for the insert. And so you're not going to glue this insert in. This insert's just to set in there. And then I took, let me grab this other tape and I'll show you. Oops. Did I put it away? Oh, so I'm using, I think this is the 1-inch tape. And so all I did was take this, and I'm going to just run it on this one because this one will be done too. So I just took a piece and I ran it like so, and then I can place my carrots on there. And so I'm going to just leave that in here because I'll use that later. And now it's ready to decorate. And so I do hope you enjoyed my video today on doing these fun little fun fold little gift card / treat box holders. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos, please follow. And thank you for stopping by. Have a good day.